Salam sejahtera, guys. Welcome back to Dive Vlog. I am Adam.
And I am DK. So again, thank you for all the support. And what are we going to be talking about in this third episode, Adam, is that from our first episode, talking about the Buton Tengah cave dive trip, some of you listeners have reached out to us, asking us, hey, how is it possible for one to become a cave diver? What do you have to go through? Nak buat kursus apa? Macam mana nak jadi cave diver? So this is what we'll be talking about in this episode. Yeah, Adam?
As far as we know, dekat region kita kan, tak banyak gua yang boleh kita buat scuba diving. So far kita ada lah, tapi there's no cave that is actually suitable to buat course kat sini. My inspiration to become a cave diver is actually Dicky. We are actually neighbors when it comes to work. My office and his office are just right opposite each other. So every time I go to the restroom, I will pass by his office. And right outside his office, there's this DTD cave diving poster. Day in and day out passing by. It kind of got me interested in cave diving just because of that particular poster. By the way, DTD means what, Dicky?
So DTD is a company that is a manufacturer of dive equipment, and it means dare to dive.
Dare to dive.
So it's something that dares someone to go diving.
Wow.
So yeah,
it does really make sense in this context. Bro.
It does.
Cave diving, DTD. What about you? What makes you want to cave dive, Dicky?
So basically I think motivation, right? It started off with my son, Danish. If I can recall correctly, this was in 2012 or so. He was a young boy and he used to always have this question, whenever we are on the road, whatever. Then he asked me, Daddy, so we're on the road now, what's underneath this tarmac? And then whenever we are at different locations, what's in the lake, what's in the sea, what's in the jungle? So he has all these questions. I was trying to find answers, and I come upon the layers of, the layers in the earth, right? And that basically motivated me into digging deeper and understanding and feeling and being in that environment if I can. So that's where cave diving comes into mind.
The curiosity of a young man inspired a
A
father to go cave diving.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really something, yeah?
It does.
Your children actually inspired you
Yes.
to go cave diving.
I hope I can inspire them, but it's the other way around, right? But
well, I mean, it goes both ways. Maybe you inspire them in another way. But I think a few of them are already scuba divers, right?
yes.
Well, then they are well on their way to become like you someday.
Hopefully. Yeah.
So let's talk about the course, shall we, Dicky?
Yeah, we can.
So in order to become a cave diver, for us, because different agencies have their different steps and hierarchy in becoming a cave diver. We are TDI certified. We are TDI full cave diver certified. In order to get to that level, that certification, we have to go through 3 courses. That is overhead environment courses.
Yep.
So the first course that we took is called the TDI Cavern Diver. So what is the requirement for that certification, Dicky?
Yeah, so back with agency, there's only not even a handful. There's just quite a few agency that is really promoting or offer cave diving courses, and the prerequisites are more or less the same. The age requirement for all of it, all of the agency starts from 18 years old, logging 25 open water log dives, so you are familiar with your equipment, the underwater environment, and so on. Obviously, you need to be fit. Open water as a minimum certification, so that's that certification requirement. Some agencies want you to be a non-smoker and that kind of stuff, but So there's minute differences here and there. Yeah.
Prerequisites that Dicky mentioned is just the bare minimum requirement that you're allowed to start doing your cavern dive. As we know, a lot of the cave instructors have their own requirement too. And it's usually much, much higher than the agency's requirement. For instance, I've actually approached a few cave instructors. Some of them required you to be technically certified. Another thing that goes without saying, being a cave diver, you need to be side mount certified. Technically, you don't have to be. Some agencies, some instructors will still do cave course with you without being a side mount diver. Without your side mount certification, you will limit yourself on the amount and the location of caves that you can dive.
Yeah. It has to be a really big caves in order for you to dive back mount.
Yes.
Setup. Yeah.
Yes.
From the prerequisite, what does it mean? What does it tell us? It tells us that anyone who is interested, who is intrigued by cave diving can do cave diving. So there's this thing, there are divers who are saying that you are going into the dark side and this side and that side. So, don't get too overwhelmed. I would say, it's safe for everybody. So in my opinion, cave diving is definitely for anyone who's interested in doing cave diving itself. However, you need to have the correct knowledge, complete knowledge, experience, discipline, and so on, right? After cave and diving will come intro to cave course. It is an environment where you are already in the cave zone. You are not able to see direct light anymore.
Natural light
anymore, correct? As opposed to cave and diving. Again, it's just a couple of days. Prerequisite is that you are again 18 years of age minimum, holding all those that is prerequisite to cave and diving, and then pass the cave and diving course. Only then you will get to sit the intro to cave course.
A cavern diver is only allowed to be within an overhead environment with the sight of natural light. So basically, you can't really go in quite deep into the cave. Whereas intro to cave, you are allowed to actually officially get into the cave.
Yeah.
But I believe, as I remember correctly, you can only penetrate 30 meters from the cavern, from the cave section
entrance.
There is a limited amount of distance that you can go when you are doing intro to cave. One thing I'm very sure, you are only allowed to do one jump. Maximum navigational, you are only allowed to do one navigational decision. That's it. But knowing from a lot of caves, then you won't be able to go far. That is intro to cave. After the second certification, we are going into full cave certification.
So you have done your cave and course, you have done your intro to cave, and now you're into the full cave course.
Yes. The prerequisite is just like the intro to cave. You need to be an intro to cave certified in order to start your full
cave course.
So as you guys can see, there are stages where you become a cavern, an intro, and a full cave course.
And the maximum depth limit is up to 40 meters
So for full cave divers, I think to the depth that you are allowed to go into. Me and Dicky, we are tech divers. I think we can go up to the maximum depth of what we are certified in technical diving.
So if you are 50 meters certified, you go to 50. If you are a trimix diver, then you might go further deeper into the cave.
But I think it's better to do the staging, the stage cave diver course as well.
Yeah.
For me and Dicky, and we had actually another teammate who is not here today, namely Achilles, we were actually quite adventurous. We did all three of the certification
in one go.
In one go.
In one go, one sitting, one go. So
the
preparation was.
Well, I don't know about you, Dicky, but in order to prep for this particular course, I started 6 months prior to our first day of doing the cavern course.
It's a lot to consider, mental fitness, physical fitness, obviously your economics as well, So that's a
Equipments.
lot to look into and a lot to
Yes.
prepare.
So I can give you like a brief summary of what did I do.
Mm.
So the first thing that I need to worry about is my physical and fitness abilities.
Mm.
If we are going into a cave, we will be in in an harsh environment.
Mm.
And it's even before we get into the water, there are a lot of obstacles that we need to get through.
Mm.
Like-
Walking into muddy areas.
A lot of things like it's water and then it's a cave environment,
Mm.
all the rocks, and we probably need to climb
Trekking
and
into
abseil and all
jungle
those kind of
and that
things.
kind of thing, yes.
So yeah, physical is very important. That was the first thing that I actually tried to address.
Mm.
So I started going back to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then apart from that, I have to prepare myself with the dive skill fundamentals.
Mm.
So fundamentals in diving, so it's basically buoyancy, trim, propulsion.
Yep.
So I constantly have to go scuba diving just to train these kind of skills that we will be performing in the cave.
Mm.
So yeah, fundamentals. And another thing, the third one is to prepare myself mentally. Of course, I try to subject myself in an overhead environment and see how I reacted.
Mm.
So I went to a few dive sites that has, I wouldn't say it's an overhead environment, but more like a tight swim through.
So correct me if I'm wrong. This dive site is in Tioman. It's almost like a Swiss cheese thingy that people call labas.
Labas, yes. And of course, I went into a bit of rack penetration as well.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Sipadan rack in Tioman,
Okay.
and then I laid line there. Basically, I'm practicing how to line laying,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is very important in cave diving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Spool management and that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Yep.
And lastly, I attended a lot of dive exhibitions.
Mm.
So the big one is, of course, edX at Singapore. There's a tech diving conference there almost every year.
Mm.
And I listen to all the tech divers
Mm.
and talk about cave diving.
Mm.
Give me a mental picture of how it's like to be diving
In the cave.
And of course, while I'm at the dive exhibition, buying gears. Probably one of the most important thing when it comes to taking a cave course is finding a suitable instructor.
You want the best. So when you want the best, you want to be well trained, you will definitely do research. You will want to get good courses, good knowledge.
It's not like we just walk to any dive center and say we
No.
want to take
No.
up cave diving course.
No,
it
does
doesn't
not
work that way.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
We mooch around with a lot of dive professionals by attending dive conferences. So for those of you who are keen, who are serious in diving, who wants to pursue in your diving knowledge, maybe career whatsoever, these are the things that we would like to recommend. Attend webinars, attend dive expos, dive shows, dive talks, podcasts,
Yeah.
and meet the player, the key people in diving, right? So
Somewhere around
you approach Blue Label.
Well,
Ben.
yeah. So back in the days, there weren't much dive centers or instructors who are actually teaching cave diving.
Mm.
Most of the cave diving courses and scene happens at Thailand during that time.
Mm.
Yes, they are pretty popular and they run cave course almost every month. The first time I spoke to our instructor, which is Claus,
Rasmussen.
the first time I met Claus Rasmussen,
Mm-hmm.
was at a dive exhibition. I think it was at
Media.
the Malaysian
International Dive
Expo.
Exhibition. Yeah.
So they had a booth there with TDI back then.
Uh-huh.
So that was the first time where I spoke to him. But from then onwards, I kind of kept in touch with him. So every dive exhibitions that I see, I will talk to him. I will ask about the cave courses and everything. So by the time we decided to take the cave course, we kind of knew who we are going with already.
Yeah, we're comfortable with him.
Yes,
we know him. He knows us.
So yeah, Klaus, it's basically years of communication before we actually started the course.
Well, but why? Why did it take so long for us to from where we started in 2016 and doing the course in 2022, right? Well, that's not much of factors, but mainly it was due to preparing ourselves, and then when we were near, when we were about to embark in it, we were prepared. Comes COVID.
Oh, yeah.
That kills 3 years.
But I think for me, it's because of COVID. I realized that we have limited time. We should do it. COVID actually motivated me in doing cave diving, to be frank with you guys.
So Klaus, he's a fantastic guy, very knowledgeable, and very patient. So let me also share with the audience. Well, we flew. Okay, so we flew from KL to Phuket, and then Klaus came and fetched us, chit chat, yappy. We drive out to our location, which
the first training site,
which is Song Hong. So the traveling time was 3+, I think, slightly less than 4 hours from Phuket. I was having concerns, despite having all all the preparation done, doing the e-learning, going through the theory. But when it comes to D-Day, doing the course, the concern was being able to finish the course, do the course well, and come out of the cave safe every single day. And Klaus, he caught that stress. He saw what is needed. So he did what he does. As a good instructor always do. Risk management. So knowing the student, knowing what is bugging the student, the candidate, and solve. He literally single-handedly helped me overcome the stress that I am in. Although it's hard work because he has to do it every day. So thank you, Klaus. I'm so sorry, but thank you. I enjoyed the course. We enjoyed the course a lot.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So before we get to Thailand, Phuket, we actually have to finish off our theory first.
Yeah.
And then there were a few exams. Every chapters, I think, like the usual knowledge review. And towards the end, there's one final exam. So we did that. We finished our theory, I think, around June, July. So we had to do that first before we go to Phuket for our practical skills and training. Yeah. When I got there, as Dicky said, Dicky felt that a bit overwhelmed. But for me,
yeah, that's the correct word, overwhelmed.
But for me, it's totally different. So I had time to prepare for this course. So I did all the things that I mentioned. So I went in the course with a lot of hopes and motivation. But boy, am I wrong. Boy, am I so wrong.
So you were shocked?
The first day kicked my behind so hard. I mean, yeah, so basically my motivation was here. And then after the first day, my expectation just, plummet. I mean, expectation of myself being able to get through this course safely.
It's always, perhaps it's safe to say that it's always good to have some concerns so that it keeps you thinking and it keeps you always on your toes. But then again, having too much, it's not good because then you worry too much, you're just not focused and you are not able to do the dive or do the course safely. So you need a balance of everything.
And just like you say, I think Klaus caught me with that also. So you and me, we are totally two different spectrum.
And then comes Achai.
And he caught me. Achai is basically in the middle, more like in the middle.
So three different characters, three different problems.
So three of us kind of balance out each of us.
And Klaus managed it all very well. Very calm. He's a very calm person, nice to talk with, nice to be with, knowledgeable. Wow, I couldn't say more. All the all the attributes of an instructor that you are looking for, he has it.
Oh, he is also a hero.
Oh yeah, he is. So Klaus, Adam, tell the audience more about Klaus and what he does with the cave rescue, the Thailand cave rescue.
Well, yeah, basically he is one of the cave rescuer in the Tham Luang cave, the cave rescue incident. So he was one of the divers. He was one of the
team of footballers who went into the cave for
Yes.
adventure, and then comes the downpour of the heavy rain and got stuck in, and
Yeah.
the whole world was there to.
That further convinced our decision in taking our course with him, actually.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
My God. Hero. I mean, would be proud to be his student.
mm,
That's what I'm saying.
mm.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of other good instructors out there.
There
No
are.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard for us to gauge which instructor is good and which instructor is average, right?
Mm.
Because we can't be doing cave course every single time
With
just to
every
review
other instructor,
instructors,
just to
right? But
we can't.
for us, judging from the way we interacted with him for the past few years before we started doing the course, I can kind of tell that he's a good instructor and the right instructor for us to be going on with.
Mm.
One big factor that we thought of was actually we wanted to do it in Thailand and not other places.
Why? Okay, so guys, yes.
Yeah.
Again, only I think less than a handful place where you can do your cave diving course. We are in Asia, so we are quite fortunate actually because we have Thailand and Indonesia that can offer you plenty of caves.
Yes.
And they are dive professional. They are instructors who conduct their courses in these countries.
Our next door neighbors.
Our neighbor. And flying from Kuala Lumpur to Phuket, it's only what? An hour and a half?
Yeah. 1 hour and a half.
1 hour and a half.
Easy.
You're already there, and then 3 hours land transfer, you are already in the training site.
But that is not the only reason that we picked Thailand. We picked Thailand is because we kind of know that the caves are
special,
not cenote environment.
They're special and they're unique.
Not the cenote environment, not the clear water environment, like what we saw in our first episode, like in Indonesia. Indonesia is definitely beautiful. So it's a very good place to go fun diving. We are pretty adventurous, I would say. We like to do things difficult. We like to make things difficult for us. I want to do it at a place where it's difficult, so when I go to the easy place, I get to enjoy it much more. You understand what I mean? It's like I do not want to do my open water at Sipadan, at the top 3 dive sites in the world. I want to do it somewhere else, and I want to go to the best place to enjoy the dive instead of doing a course.
Choosing a dive site is also, a training site is also part of what we look into.
Yes.
So that may be something that the audience, the listeners can consider. If you are keen in doing in clear waters, something that, you can see, what every dive site, every training site has its own challenges. But if you're a bit more adventurous and you think that, let me try something that is a little bit more difficult. But then again, if you're able to overcome this, then you would be even more
as a better
comfortable.
diver, for sure.
Yeah.
Experience is very important. Like the environment that we are subject in during our course, that is very important. I'm not saying which cave is better, which cave is not, but it's just different because the geographical attributes is different. The cave is different.
Yeah.
This is my own opinion. If I'm to do my cave course in Indonesia, which is beautiful.
It is beautiful, yeah.
When I go to Thailand, I might struggle when I dive the caves in Thailand. That's what I'm saying. But if I do Thailand and then I go to Indonesia, I will enjoy the dive at Indonesia.
Well, some of you may disagree. Some people may disagree. Say, hey, Dicky, when you do the training, you are being trained blindfolded. Being in the real environment is different.
Come to think of it, actually, it doesn't really matter where you do your cave course. Because I think 60-70% of the time you're blindfolded anyway.
Yeah, you're blindfolded. True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, let's go into the course. Let's talk about the course now. I think we should.
Yep. On that first day, we had breakfast or lunch, and then we sat down. Claus sat us down and go through some more of the theory. He did a presentation. Some presentation from the slides. About
1-2 hours presentation.
And then off we go to the lake.
Yeah.
And then we did our first dive.
The famous Song Hong Lake. Claus gave us a briefing of the location and the lake. Song Hong is 140 meters deep, and it's a sinkhole. there are sections of the hole which is an overhead environment. So basically, the hole is just not all the way down, straight down.
So it's not just a vertical sinkhole that you can see the top.
Yes.
You have all these junction and restriction or crevices that creates a cave, another cave system underneath. Yeah.
And the visibility is...
Imagine this. We have... How strong was our torch again?
Mine was around 5,000 lumens.
So somewhere around there. And then we went down. The vis was poor. And I kid you not, I couldn't see the light coming out from my torch.
Surface visibility is poor, but I think once we get down to 18 to 20 meters,
where the cave section starts, then
everything clears up. It's just the shallow depth
because
section.
There's soil and silt and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the surface.
Yeah. I've never had experience where I turn on my torch, I couldn't even see the light coming out of the torch. So I thought I left the torch off.
At Song Hong?
Yeah. So I thought, I did not turn my torch on. But then I brought it up to my face. I couldn't see the light. Then I just literally put it onto my face mask. Only then I could see the light. But that was... then you instantly go blind, But yeah, so that was my experience on that first dive.
Yeah, so Klaus gave us a briefing of the location. And then we started with our land drills.
Yep.
So the first dive, the first thing that we needed to do, I think in all cave courses, is that we have to lay lines.
Yes.
That is one of the most important skills that we need to learn when it comes to cave diving. Because it's one of the golden rules, one of the five golden rules of cave diving. Always maintain a continuous line. We have to lay lines on the surface first. Like we have to learn how to do our primary tie-off, followed by our secondary tie-off, and then subsequent ones.
Yep.
So we have to do it on land first before we try it in the water.
Lake or in the water, yeah.
But it's so much difference when you're doing it on land and in the water. We are mostly ocean open water divers.
Yeah.
So going into a lake environment is very, very totally foreign to us. I was taken aback because it took me a good few days to get used to the environment, the lake environment, the Song Hong environment. To begin with, salt water and fresh water. We have to inflate a lot more air or gas into our BCD than usually when we do it in the ocean. That is one. Another thing that got me is the scenery. Everything is totally at sea and at the lake is totally different. The things that we see is different. So we talk about the visibility. So it takes, Klaus did mention, it takes a few days for our eyes to actually familiarize ourselves, the sight of the eyes with the things. Because as I remember, the first 2 days when I went into Song Hong, I didn't really see a lot of things. Or I did not notice a lot of things. Only on the 4th or the 5th day, then I realized, I see a lot more things. First dive was a total disaster for me. I was so focused on laying line that I went into a cave. That I didn't even realize that I went into a cave. So by the time we get down to 8 meters, it's just pitch black. Even if we are in an open water environment, it's because of the visibility and everything. 8 meters is already pitch black.
So remember again, this is in the caven course. Caven means you're not in an overhead environment. You have the ability to look and see what was it again? Natural light. But we were down at this depth. We were not able to determine where is the natural light.
I went into the cave that I didn't even realize that I was there. So our instructor had to come and get me. So he went to come and get me. He tapped on my shoulder. I looked at him. He looked at me. I was like, what's going on? And then he was like pointing up there. He was just pointing up. I looked up and then I see nothing. After the dive, he was telling me I went into a cave.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I did not. One thing, I did not see the roof of the cave. He did tell me that it's because we no longer see the natural light.
Yes.
It
so
means
I was above Adam and I saw him going into this cave.
Okay.
Klaus, as usual, he was in the middle, right, in between all of us. So he saw that, he went in, and then he communicated with you and brought you back out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really far into the cave. So what does this tell us? And for those of you who has been asking us how to be cave certified, what to expect, be aware of your environment.
Yes.
This is also in the theory chapters, but so be aware of your environment. No matter how bad the visibility is, try to stay focused and be aware of what's surrounding you and where you are at every single time when you are diving in these environments.
And because of this situation, I realized that cave is not what I think it is. There are a lot different types of cave. Because usually what we see on YouTube or on television, right? The caves are like a tunnel where you can see above, you can see the walls, you can see the ceiling, you can see the walls on your left, on your right, and then you can see the bottom. Or at least a few of them. Where I am at, I can only see the bottom. And I'm in a cave.
Yep.
So it tells me that the cave is huge. Right,
Yes.
because I can only see the bottom,
Yes, it
and
is
I didn't
huge.
even know that I'm in a cave.
Yeah.
So as Dicky said, awareness is very important,
Very important.
and knowledge where you are at and what defines a cave is also very important. So you will learn that during the theory section,
Theory session, when you do the
and
course,
also as how I did. I went into the cave. I didn't know. I learned but through experience. Yes.
Again, this is also why selection of an instructor is important.
Oh, yeah. I think one of his ability is he has an eagle eye.
Very sharp.
He sees every
He's
single
like a
thing
hawk.
in the water
He
what we were
knows
doing.
Every single thing that you do, whether it's right or wrong, he's there. He knows.
Where we clip our
he
stuff,
reacted to it very
how
quickly.
we clip our stuff,
Yeah.
everything he noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were struggling because with the poor visibility, but he caught everything.
So as the days goes by, I mean, we get ourselves familiarized with the places. Comes the blindfold.
Blindfold.
Well, I mean,
Interesting.
we did not get blindfolded by the cloth that they usually use. It's because we are wearing a helmet. So Klaus says that it's not really that necessary to use that one. Basically, we just turn our mask and then we just close our eyes. That's our blindfold. I think 60-70% we were blindfolded.
All the time, yeah. Despite
the
being
time.
in poor visibility environment,
Yeah,
we
so
are still being blindfolded.
basically going into the dive, the first half of the dive we are doing drills, we are doing skills. Coming back out of the wherever we are going, the second half of the dive, confirm blindfolded and all hell breaks loose. Out of air, both of my cylinder gas got turned off by Klaus. Like really out of air.
Yeah, with
It's
all
not a
those-
simulation, bro.
Those
It's-
are the stress management thingy.
It wasn't a simulation
so-
for me. He
so
turned
yeah.
off both of my cylinder, both of my tanks. He turned it off without me noticing it. Well, because we were blindfolded anyway. So I didn't.
Well, this is not done purposely. This is requirements, right? This is to train you to become a better cave diver. So it's still in a controlled environment.
Of course.
So he knows the cave, he knows the system, he knows what to do, and he's on top of the situation. And sharing of the long hose, going through restriction, trying to communicate with touch and feeling, and it's a lot of things to look into, a lot of stress to manage, but I enjoyed it all actually.
Yes, for 3 of us in a team, right? The first few days we actually have problems with team communication.
Oh yes.
We struggle with that.
Yep.
Team communication because things get a little bit complicated when it's a 3-man team.
3-member.
Yes.
3-man team.
Yeah. So basically, let's say the person behind have to communicate with the person in the middle, and the person in the middle have to tell the person at the front. So there are a lot of discrepancy when it comes to that. Let's say Dicky is behind. Dicky is telling me something. I'm in the middle, and then I have to tell Achilles something. So there's always a miscommunication between us when we are doing it initially. If you guys are doing cave course, right, preferably do it with 2 people. I'm giving you a tip now.
What do you do with 2 people? 2%.
2-person team is much better than doing with a 3-man team.
Wow.
3-man team, the communication is much complicated than doing with 2-person.
Because you're passing information.
Yes, if it's 2%, it's only you and me.
Yeah, so
I
whatever
just need to
I'm
tell
telling you,
you
get
just
it.
need to tell me that's
so
it. You don't have to go through a middle person.
Yeah.
It gets a lot. You think that it's easy, but trust me, it's not. With all the things going on, it is not easy.
Yeah. How many times did we had to do until we got it right?
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
I don't remember, but
yeah, a lot of times.
I think almost 2/3 of the course.
So every dive,
2/3 of the course we had to
always
team communication.
repetition of everything.
Yeah. Klaus drilled us with the team communication
Yeah.
because that we struggle with that one. Speaking about zero visibility skills, right? I actually like it a lot. I prefer to close my eyes than to open my eyes when it comes to training. Maybe because I feel like when I open my eyes, I see nothing. That actually give me anxiety. When I close my eyes, I know that I definitely cannot see anything. So, and I think my senses are heightened when I close my eyes.
Lessen the distraction.
Yes,
and you get to focus.
And I feel so calm when I close my eyes.
Yeah.
During low visibility situation, even though we can see things, I prefer to just close my eyes. I feel calmer that way, and I feel that I can operate better when I close my eyes.
Because you're focused and collected.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Everything goes, you take your time. You
I feel
work
more
on
anxious when I open my eyes.
Yeah.
So I rather close it and just do what I need to do. I prefer that one. Because at certain point, visibility is just so bad that even if you open your eyes,
you won't be able to see
as
anything.
you see,
so
even your torch is switched on, you can't see nothing.
Yeah.
Actually, the torch can make it worse because of the glare and everything.
Yeah.
I rather just close my eyes and do what we need to do.
But then again,
go where we need to go.
There are sections in the cave where you get good visibility. It's not throughout.
Yeah,
it's not throughout.
There are certain times where we purposely, I won't say purposely, we accidentally kick up all the silt and things like that. And then it just went shit from there.
So places where there's flow, water movement, it helps to clear the sediment and so on. That's where you get clear visibility. In cave system where there's not much of mud or sediments, it's mainly rock, hard surface, as you said.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can stir up the visibility.
I felt so relieved at the end of the day. Every single day is like, oh, we finished this day. And I'm so relieved that we passed through it, we gone through it. Then I wouldn't say we did okay every single day, because I think every day that we went, 3 of us have our own struggles. We had our good days and we had our bad days.
Yes.
Your good day might be my bad day. My good day might be your bad day. You know?
Yes. So it's a steep learning curve for me as well.
Very steep. Especially the first few days.
Yeah, I've been diving since late 90s. Being a dive pro since 2003. Dive so many dive sites. Experienced a lot of, I've dived in Waikato River, deep dive, swim throughs and that kind of stuff. But cave,
different.
It's different.
Yeah.
So not to discourage anyone, but you need to have all the discipline.
You need to be prepared.
And be prepared.
Walking into this.
Yes. It does not say if you are a rescue diver or if you're an instructor will be able to go in and with flying colors complete the course easily. It does not work that way. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Your skill some of the skills that you have done previously do translate into cave diving. Some of it. The mental part is no. Regardless of what you do previously, your course, you will not be able to mentally prepare for cave diving course. It's two different ball game, different.
You see, we even went into dry cave environment prior to this course.
Oh yes,
just to remember.
I went to Gua Tempurung before the
there
course.
You go.
Yeah.
So I did a few dry caves as well. Just to prepare mentally what to expect during the dive. But man, that only helps a tiny little bit. You do whatever you need to do to get yourself prepared. And experience is another thing. So just have fun and,
Good thing about doing cave diving at Thailand, the food and the accommodation.
Wow,
Amazing.
It's Asian food. Thailand has got a lot of, tom yum and baklapao, and everything is just simply
Maybe
nice.
that's why I look forward to the end of the day. It's the food
because we get to eat
the
really
food and
nice
the
food. Yeah.
accommodation. Oh, we are so well taken care of by Klaus. Each of us have our own room. We don't have to share our room. And
it's spacious, it's big, a whole chalet to ourselves.
my God, our rooms are huge.
Yeah, it's a whole chalet to yourself.
Yeah, it's huge. My God.
Uh-huh.
The Song Hong, what they call location,
Uh-huh.
we stay in a wooden hut.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's more like a small wooden bungalow hut. I think you and Achilles have your own hut.
Yes.
Me and Klaus, we shared a big hut,
but
it's just right next to
Next
each
door.
other. Yeah, but you guys have your own hut,
own hut, yeah.
right in the middle of the jungle.
Yes.
I believe they are like bridges.
Broadwalk or some sort like that.
My God, in the morning when I woke up, I opened the window, the mist, amazing view, bro.
Nice view, nice
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah.
Being in the jungle, the jungle smell.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I want to talk about the food, but I'm hungry right now. I don't know if I should do it or not. But anyway, Thailand, right? Food
Yeah.
is obviously amazing.
It is.
So amazing. I look forward to the food every single day.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch. Lunch, we didn't really get to eat
Because it's always packed
comfortably
lunch. Yeah.
because we are in between trainings.
Mm.
So we do our first dive, and then we eat.
But
And
still,
it's
our
packed
food
lunch.
are really
Nice. Of
Nice
course, I'm
and-
not saying the food is not delicious.
Uh,
It's just we are so focused on the course during
course, yeah.
our lunchtime that we just eat to get our energy and to
Uh-huh.
get full. We didn't really at least for me, I didn't really focus much on
and
the taste of the food.
Oh, okay.
It's only breakfast and dinner where I
Uh-huh.
actually
where you get to sit in
sit
the
down and
restaurant
chill
and,
and
eat
relax.
and yeah.
yeah.
But the packed lunch is still massive.
Yes.
Rice, this and that, veg. Yeah. So Klaus took care of us well. So thank you, Klaus,
Mm-hmm.
for taking care of us,
Mm-hmm.
for guiding us, for
Oh yeah.
sharing the knowledge and getting up to speed and becoming, I would say, a competent cave diver.
I am very grateful that he is our instructor.
Yes. So logistic wise, so what to expect when you do these courses? Well, you need to have definitely your side mount configuration. I mean, recommended to have side mount configuration. Consists of the BCDs, mask, snorkel, fin. I mean, not snorkel. I'm so sorry, but your mask, your wetsuit, your hoodies, your helmet, if you prefer to, and fins, and the normal basic stuff. Your regulator. Would you recommend bringing extra equipment to people or our listeners who plan
Of course, it's
to take
always
up
good
that?
to bring extra stuff, right?
Okay.
I mean, you never know what will happen. Things might get dropped. Things might spoil. Of course, bringing extra ones will do.
Mm.
But cave diving itself, we are already actually carrying a lot of
a
stuff.
lot of stuff.
The course basically pretty much revolves around the line.
Mm.
Klaus always tells us, I think every single day, your line is your life.
Yep.
Basically, your
Yep.
line is your life. Your line is your life. Every single day he says this.
Mm.
Because if we lose our line, we lose our way
Mhm.
out of the cave.
Oh, okay. So you're going there. Yeah.
I mean that it is the truth
It
when
is.
it comes
It is.
to
Yes.
cave diving.
Yes.
You can't deny it. The line is your life. I'm still repeating it until now.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
basically boiled into our mind. The line is your life.
Yeah.
So most of the dive skills revolves around the line. Everything that we do is either around the line or on the line
itself,
or with
yeah.
the line.
Yeah.
Basically, that is cave diving. It's cave diving course. If you really want us to sum it up, it's the line.
Mm.
Everything is about the line. We have to lay line. We have to manage the line. We have to fix the line.
That's all another skills that you will learn. Yeah.
Equipments, obviously, is reels and spool.
Reels and spool.
We carry one primary reel, which is at least 100 meters long, and then 3 spools
Mm-hmm.
minimum. 40 meters.
Mm.
That one is-
50,
those are
40,
for-
50
Those are for
spools.
jumps, the skills that you will perform.
Yeah.
And then apart from that, what else? We have to carry
Torches,
line cutters.
line cutters.
1 main torch and two or three two backups, I think, at
Mhm.
least 2
Mhm.
backups. And then, of course, basically everything that we can bring extra, we will have to carry. Extra mask.
Think of being self-sufficient in this course
Yes.
is what you need to prepare for. You need to have spares for everything.
Klaus rip out my mask so often that sometimes I just prefer just take it off. I'm not going to use my mask anymore. You know? Oh yeah, I struggled with my mask for the past 1, 2, 3 days.
What
Because
happened?
my mask keep flooding.
Okay, I remember that.
Remember
one.
that?
Yeah.
It keeps flooding is because I think my facial hair was too long.
Maybe
So,
so.
the
Yeah.
water just keep creeping in. Remember at one point, I think on the 3rd day or the 5th day, I just shave off everything. So I can focus. I can solely focus on the
And the
course.
Yeah.
So I just shave and then I put on my mask. Okay, it's good. Later I found out it doesn't really help that much because we are blindfolded. Our mask get ripped off most of the time. It doesn't really matter.
So being comfortable with the environment is one thing. Being comfortable with your equipment is another thing. Going into this course, you need to prepare all these spares and all these other equipment to complete the list of gear that you need to have with you. You need to dive with it. You need to be familiar with this equipment. As simple as the mask, as you said. Well, a lot of us who goes into cave diving may have done hundreds, if not thousands, of dive prior to this. But then again, in that environment, that situation, every single bit of stress can elevate, and it's like a snowball effect.
One leads to another.
Yeah. So you wanna be comfortable with everything. New torch, new line, helmets.
Cave diving is very accessory focused, I would say. Not even tech diving. Tech diving, we don't really use a lot of accessories, to be frank with you. We are just going down, we breathe, we do deco. It's probably the SMB and the reel and the spool only that we use most often when we are tech diving. But in cave diving, we use a lot of accessories.
Yeah.
We even have to use our SMB as a backup BCD
buoyancy
compensator. We have to learn that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, not to forgetting cookies, and
arrows,
directional
ram, and all
markers
that kind of stuff.
and arrows. Those things you will not be able to use in other dives other than cave diving. Of course, if you want to, you can, but there's no point doing it.
Unless you're doing rack penetrations.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
then you
Do
would
they use markers in rack also? I think
if I'm
so,
not
right?
mistaken, they are.
But-
Because you need to give direction in and out of the rack itself. These are huge racks.
Maybe a little bit, because as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no permanent line in racks. You have to lay your own line most of the time.
True.
So because
depends
of
on
that,
the rack. Yeah.
because of that, you don't need markers because it's only in and out. You go in and go out at the same route. So you just need to lay your line and then you follow your line back. That's it. You lay your line back is there.
Perhaps using exploration where they will be going in and
I
out
reckon so.
of this rack a couple of times, or
I
going
reckon
section
so.
to section. Yeah.
Before we left Song Hong, we did a traverse.
So meaning we're going from one cave into a cave system, coming out on the other side. Yeah.
So Song Hong has 2 ponds or 2 lakes, the smaller one and the bigger one. That dive actually got me really excited.
Me too.
Because
Actually.
I think that was the first dive where I actually really felt that I am in a cave.
You are exploring caves.
Yes. Because the small pond leading onto the big one is actually the first time I see a tunnel. That was the first dive where I actually see the tunnel, where I can see 4 walls surrounding us.
Yeah.
Because in the big lake, it's so huge that you don't see most of the wall.
Yes.
You probably
it's
see
like
the
a
side.
big area, big opening, and then all you.
Yes.
Suddenly, am I in the?
You
in
only
a
see
cave?
one
And
wall
that kind of stuff,
on the side because it's so deep,
Uh-huh.
and then the wall is so high. You only see the side of the wall. But in the small pond, you see the whole, the full tunnel, which I felt, and the visibility was quite good actually.
Quite good, yeah.
So that was when I was like, oh my god, this is really cave diving. Yeah. So for the traverse dive, I remember we did 3 dives for that traverse. The first time we went in was the big lake. So we went in to lay our jump and to lay our directional marker.
Mm-hmm.
We went in and then we came back out at the same place.
Yep.
The second dive is when we did the traverse.
From the small lake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
From the small lake, we went down. Did we carry stage tank? I think we did, right? 3 tanks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did one.
Because there were deco involved. So we spent, I think, 20 minutes in 40 meters.
40
meters.
40 meters.
40
yes.
meters.
Yes,
Yeah, I
we
think
did a
so.
40-meter
So
dive.
we went down from the small lake tunnel and then all the way down to 40 meters. That's where the junction is at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we swam back to the big lake.
Right down to 40 meters, come back up into the big lake.
I remember
pond.
that dive very well. You Klaus was the one in front, furthest in. Actually, he was everywhere. You were leading the dive. I was in the middle and
then we did the jump out.
Achilles was
right?
at the back. You swam faster than me. I swam a little bit close. I swam a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my fault because I did not follow your pace. So I probably should follow your pace. But I think, I swam a little bit slower. I don't remember why I did that. Maybe because I was admiring
You
the
were
view.
enjoying the dive.
I don't know. But I swam slower than you.
Yeah,
we got scolded for that for sure. I understand. But I think
dive planning.
it's my fault.
Yeah,
It's my
again,
fault. I
dive
swam
planning,
slow.
knowing what depth you're going, how much bottom time that you can be. I mean, that it is required to fulfill in this diving without having deco and all that kind of stuff.
And another reason why we enjoyed that dive is because there weren't much skills or situation that we have to deal with. We just have to do the traverse only. Because previous dive was like mask gone, air, gas gone, torch gone, everything gone. So this one
we covered all the drills already.
So this one is just like a fun dive, more like a fun dive to us. So that's when I actually started enjoying it. We did another dive, the third dive, to just go down to collect back our equipments and our cookies and our markers. So that was Songhorn. From then onwards, we traveled to Krabi town. Yeah. Oh my God, Krabi town, the accommodation was crazy. My room can sleep 5 people, and I was the only one staying there. You got the newer rooms, Dicky. I remember.
Yes,
I
was with Klaus.
Yeah, yours
We
was
were in the same.
yours was the cement, the cement
brick walls.
the brick walls.
Yeah.
Mine and Achilles was the wooden ones. I had 2 floors.
Yes, attic.
Yes,
You had an attic
I had
as
2
well.
floors with a balcony.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just too bad we didn't get to spend a lot of time in that room, but I think I would like to go back and just stay there.
Wow, because we're doing a course.
The pool right in front of us, bro.
And
So inviting.
Yeah.
And remember downstairs we had our own communal area where
We can hang, we can do barbecue, we can even do
there's
cooking.
a big table and everything.
Yeah. It's the
Amazing
places we
accommodation.
went, the accommodation that we were put in was really good. Really good. Moving around. So this was done in double cab truck, or the Hilux, Toyota Hilux. And there was 3 of us, me, Achilles, and Adam.
Klaus.
With Klaus, so
4 in the car.
total 4 in the car, and the trunk is just packed. There's compressor, there's
packed.
tank, there is everything like scrubber. Because Klaus prepared as well.
So imagine this, guys. The Hilux is our transportation. It's our dive center, basically. So apart from our gear, our dive gear, we have to pack our luggages and all our clothes, everything. Plus food, some food and water. Equipments, dive equipment, spare equipments. And as you said, the compressor. And fuel as well. And all the O2 bottles and all even our deco bottles, our stage tanks, all are inside.
Yep.
The amount of tanks we carried that day was 15 tanks.
Oh, I can't remember.
And
I can't remember.
I know we have 1 big O2 tanks. I remember that. My God, it was quite an adventure. I mean, it's also the first time I experienced this. At the cave entrance or near the cave, there are no dive centers there. So basically, we have to bring everything ourselves.
Wow, it's a secluded area. I mean, cave is. I mean, you have the kampung lah. You ada lah kampung sekeliling. But in generally, you are in an outskirt lah.
Yes,
Right.
indeed.
So with this, Claus was being self-sufficient with all the dive logistic, the tank compressor and everything.
So what skills do you think that you struggled the most during the course? Which skill?
Well, each of the skill is it's new. Definitely I'm not able to do it at one go, but I would not say I really struggle. Out of everything, I think the one skill that I need to put more on my thinking cap to be able to execute the skill well is where you need to look for a lost line.
Lost line drill.
Lost line drill.
Okay.
So that was something that I had to put on the thinking cap, where to go, how far forward have I gone, how much backward do I need to go and, come back up and make that loop or that kind of stuff. That was.
Why don't you explain what is the lost line drill? What do we need to do and why do we need to do it?
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is something where to prepare you when you lost the line. So in an environment where maybe you get overexcited and then you swim away and then the line is not there.
It can be due to the visibility that you can't see the line
and so on, yeah. So, and you need to find the line back again. So how we started was, from where you are, you just have to sink yourself down to the bottom, right? And then choose a direction that you think that the line could be at, and then you tie your reel into a point so that you can get back where you start. So then you just go and do this reconnaissance, I would say, to look for the line. So you crawl further forward and then you go up into slight elevation, and that hopefully see if the primary line that you lay is hooking onto this main cave line.
So basically what Claus did was we go to a section of the cave or a cavern. I think we started at the cavern first, right? We learned at the cavern. So, and then we get blindfolded, and then Claus will spin us around, and then he will push us to a section of the cave where the line is not is at, and then from there onwards we have to do what Tiki explained. So fortunately for me, I found a reel while doing a lost line cave. I found like a reel.
So someone might have dropped the reel.
And then I found the reel. I found the reel first before I found the line. I was like, what? And then Claus was telling, when I came out, Claus was like, why are you holding so many reels? Then I told him, no, actually I found this underwater. Then he was like, what?
It was fun.
Yeah, I got a reel.
That was a skill where I had to put on my thinking cap, because the others, I think, it's not easy, but it's quite straightforward, I would say, maybe. What would be yours? Which skill challenged you?
I think for me, it's not one particular skill. It's like the little things that I found that I realized that I should have done better. Things like even simple things like changing your regulators. As I said, the first few days I struggled with the mask. There's no one skill that I struggle very much, but I think most of the skill I think I should have performed better. We are learning. We are in a course. So
it's new. It's something new. We have never done before. So yeah.
I mean, managing the reel itself is already a skill on it by itself. Laying the line and reeling it back, tying knots, tying the primary and everything. Yeah. Actually, one of the dive, my primary tie off actually came off.
Oh.
But luckily I have my secondary. My secondary was
tie
okay.
off. Yeah.
But my primary came off because I tied off like at a. I chose a bad spot to tie.
Okay.
So basically, it came off.
All right. Okay.
But it was during training, and it was open water. It was at an open water space. It taught me to be more vigilant when I'm picking tie-off points.
Well, then again, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
There might be things that you need to repeat a lot of times. You will be doing mistakes, but don't get demotivated.
We actually repeat everything almost every single day.
Yeah. Don't be hard on yourself, you know. Just be positive, enjoy the process, enjoy the course. It's really an interesting course.
At the start of the course, we learned a lot of we learned a lot of new skills, which is why the first few days was quite difficult. But subsequent days, right, we have to perform everything repeatedly every single dive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Dicky saved our life. I mean, during a simulation.
During the training.
Yeah, so basically, we were at the junction. Chai was Achilles was in front. I was in the middle. Both of us missed our junction. We picked the wrong junction, and luckily, he was the last diver, and then he confirmed the junction and he pulled us back. Yeah, if it was in a real life situation, we were actually in deep trouble. Yeah, but luckily, Dicky caught it, and he managed to steer us back to the right direction. Yeah, I think which is why it's important to never dive alone. Yeah, in cave diving, whatever you do, you need a teammate to confirm.
Yes.
Everything. Like tying our reels.
Decision on choosing a junction.
It's not a one-person decision, because if one of us made the wrong decision, it could jeopidize the whole team. It
implicates the whole team, yeah.
Yeah, so all of us, maybe the first person have to decide what we do and where we go. But it's also the responsibility of the subsequent teams to confirm it, that this is the right place to be and this is the right place, the right turn to go. Right, all of us have to confirm everything. It's not a one-person decision. It's cave diving is a team-based activity. You rely a lot on your teammates.
Yes, you rely on your teammates. Yes, you need to perhaps select your teammates, if I may say it so. I would not put pressure on the teammates. I would not have a high expectation. I mean, let me try and rephrase that. Maybe in the course, right? Do not put too high of an expectation on your teammate, because you are learning. You need to work with each other. I think that is something that I appreciate with the team. I mean, besides Klaus, the instructor, Adam and Achilles, everybody have our own shortcomings. There are days where it's like Adam said earlier, his happy day may be my bad day, and vice versa. But we support and we lift each other up every single day. When you go and do this,
we look out for each other.
Look out for each other.
Support each other,
and do not have high expectation.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we are diving together.
Yeah.
So we have to rely on each other. I mean, there are things that we need to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. But when it comes to cave diving, there are a lot of things they are team-based. Like, as you said, decisions. Navigational decisions are very much so team-based. So that is one big thing, right? We see someone struggling, we have to go and help. Which is why we did a lot of the skills that we have to help each other out. Even at times in need, like,
it's almost like a team building course.
Remember the team formation that we did? We actually, I almost forgotten about it. The team formation, like the person with the worst situation is got to be at the front.
At the front, yeah.
Remember?
Everybody anyone who has some limitations or having some issues is always in the front.
Yeah.
So all in all, the course is intense, but it's manageable. It is fun. It is something that whoever take the course would really enjoy and would really appreciate what cave diving is all about.
Well, I think my definition of fun is it's fun, but not in an enjoyable way. It's fun because you're learning. It's fun because you are out of your comfort zone. When you are taking open water, you don't know what to expect. That kind of fun and excitement. I would say excitement. Yeah. Because you never know what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say the next day, even at the next corner.
Mm.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
I
Klaus really did challenge us.
yes.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere it says that this was in 2019. As of 2019, there are only 70 or to 80 professional cave divers worldwide. So keep that in mind. So don't push yourself too hard. And Krabi,
We are going
Food
into actual cave environment, like
so
actual
there's
cave.
Rakel and
Yes.
what was the other
1,
one?
2, 3. Klang Cave.
Klang Cave.
Srakel 1 and 2 were amazing for me. I enjoyed the 2 dives. From that point onwards, right, we are pretty much subject to ourselves in different environment.
Mm.
Not so much on skill development anymore because we have already gone through that. We went into actual cave environment, like actual cave
Implement
environment.
the knowledge we have learned.
Yeah, and try to find our way out. Of course, Klaus will be in front, taking us into the cave. Coming out will be basically emergency drills most of the time. But
I enjoyed all the 3 caves.
Yeah, but not as extensive as during when we were in Song. Right? So we did get to enjoy a bit during those few days too. I remember Sakel 2 has that Grim Reaper plaque on it.
If you're not certified, please do not go further. Some sort like that.
Yeah, it will kill you. So basically, it's that.
It's a standard cave diving plaque that people put. That is supposedly the deepest cave system in Asia or something like that.
Yeah. It's one of the deepest, 260 meters, something like that.
That is how far
Down.
diver have reached. And
Yes.
there are more to
Yes.
explore. So they are able to determine how deep the cave is.
Yeah, and
as of yet lah.
Srakel 3 was hell for me. That was I think probably my worst day during the course.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I think
it was okay for me. I like all the 3
my first
caves.
The first dive, I think maybe because I was the last one going in, so I basically saw nothing on my first Srakel dive.
Okay.
Until we got to the restriction. The restriction was tight. And then side mount dive for sure. Fin tanks definitely cannot go through. And the current at 40 meters was ripping
the floor.
Yeah, but of course we were informed prior to this.
Yes.
So the main line was this thick. So we can pull ourselves into the cave.
Yeah.
So Klaus did mention we can either pull the line or we can pull the walls. I did not expect it to be that strong. Because practically it was strong because it was a restriction.
Yes.
So imagine it was a bottleneck like basically. The cave was big and then it went narrow. The flow was much stronger there. You have no chance swimming through that restriction with your legs.
Not even if you have the so-called hard fin or the
No
jet
amount
fin
of
or
fins.
whatever.
I don't think DPV can. Do you think DPV can pass through?
Not too
full
sure.
pass?
Something maybe for us to
Maybe not. I'm not sure. But
for us to
I do remember I have to pull.
consider
I definitely
on
have
our
to
next
pull
dive that we try with
and have
DPV.
to. The wall. Yeah. I definitely have to do that. And it was at 40 meters. And at the end of that is a very tiny, small restriction that we have to went through.
I can only.
That was the tightest restriction we did. I think that was the tightest restriction we did at Thailand. 40 meters, and then we turned back out. Of course, there were more caves that we are not going in.
Yeah, because then we were
doing
going deeper and deeper.
much deeper.
So
that was, and then we did we have to fix the line in our during our second dive. Yeah, but that day was the worst day for me. I did not really enjoy. I was so glad that it was over. Yeah.
For me, the 3 cave was I don't have any issues with the caves. I enjoyed the whole cave experience, the diving experience and so on. But what I want to share is getting into this cave or getting to this location tests my physical
Beautiful
limits.
scenery.
Because you're going into the jungle, you are hogging your tanks in and out of
We
the
have
jungle.
to park our mobile dive center
Yeah.
at the parking lot, and then Sacred Tree, right? We have to walk carry our tanks, all our equipments into the jungle. Through
muddy and
through mud, and then fallen trees.
Yes.
And we have to climb through tree roots.
Yes.
Until we get to the
That, like
small
boulder as well.
very small pond.
Yeah.
Very small pond.
Small entrance.
Yeah, and then visibility wasn't good. I remember it was green. And then remember the place where we keyed up? It was small.
It is small.
Too small.
With all the mosquitoes and whatever.
And then by the time we keyed up, the visibility is already gone.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it all. I like
physically tested us.
Yeah. But
oh my god, I don't know how many times I stopped to pan.
So that tested me lah with my physical limits. But I managed and I did the dive and we came back out and
that was the last day of
okay.
our course actually. Remember after the second dive, Klaus was officially certifying us.
Yeah.
We took out the TDI flag and started taking pictures of
yeah.
Oh, this is finally over.
The dive in Klang
Cave, yeah.
Klang Cave. That cave I didn't really enjoy it that much.
Visibility wasn't that good.
Well, visibility wasn't there.
Yeah, Klaus also mentioned that he said that usually it's better than what we do.
Yeah, and at the end of the dive, on the way out, the line just broke off from the tie off.
Yeah.
So the line was just on the floor or hanging whatsoever. So as we were coming up,
we were supposed to ascend, but we had to descend.
So I saw, the line is going down back again, and then.
And towards the bottoms are silt. Thick silt.
So you and Achilles was already up this line.
Yes.
And then leaving me and Klaus behind. So I was back in my mind I was like, what is we just learned how to do the broken line tie, and is this a test or what? So is this the actual thing that's happening, and that got me worried.
We got a good scolding for that dive. But we deserve it, of course.
Yeah, but Klaus was there, and we managed to. Well, fortunately, it wasn't a broken line. It was just a line that got off of the tying point. So followed the line, tried to figure out where's the tying point back again, and fix that line back again onto the tying point, and then we ended the dive. Yeah, but all in all, despite whatever we are sharing here, the course is
amazing. Learn a lot.
The course is definitely for anyone who wants to do cave diving.
I learned a lot about scuba diving, and I learned a lot about myself. Maybe if you guys are doing it next time, I mean, if you are not really sure, try not to do 3 courses at the same time.
Why?
Because it's really taxing. It's a 2 weeks course, bro. It's tiring. And it's mentally exhausting. I mean, there are so many things that you need to learn, and after that is repetitive. After the repetition is new environment. It's like for the 2 weeks, you don't really have any time to take a break. Most of the cave instructors will not do 1 course with you only. Because of the location that we are going into, it's not worth going there just to do a 2 days course and coming back.
Yeah.
So you have to at least do 2 courses. Doesn't have to be 2 cave courses. As long as you do at least 2 courses, that means you spend at least 4 or 5 days at the location. Then it's viable to do the course. But you don't do just 1 course. So I would recommend that maybe you guys can do cavern and intro to cave first. Then only come back for your full cave certificate. You might even find out that cave diving is not for you on the first, second day. But if you sign up for the full course, you are in for a bad rough time. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You do your cavern and intro to cave first. Then only go to full cave. Or some don't even go to full cave. Intro to cave is good enough for them. Because you are still in a cave environment, but you just don't go deeper. Or
that's just a limitation to it. But
some people intro to cave is more than enough. You don't have to do a lot of jumps, complex navigation, all those things. Not necessary, because you still get to enjoy the cave.
Yes.
So the whole course, Tiki, what did you get out of it the most, you think?
I definitely discover a little bit more about myself. I know that I overthink too much sometimes, but I'm a changed person now because from that experience, it tells me that there's no point in overthinking. In my opinion, when people say it's not for everybody, I tend to disagree.
Yes and no.
Yeah. But for me, I tend to disagree. I think it's for anyone, but it comes with, putting in the effort and having the correct discipline and all that kind of stuff, getting good courses.
If we can do it, I think everyone can do it. Yeah, but you need to be really well prepared going into this. It's not a course where you can just decide to do and then just go for it. You need to prepare. You need to be mentally prepared, physically prepared, and a lot of other things. You need to be resilient during the course, especially during the course.
So this is a question from our audience as well. I'm claustrophobic, but I want to do cave diving.
Yes, I think you can still do it. There are a lot of different types of caves out there. I mean, you can just tell you can just tell the instructor you're claustrophobic. Maybe you can go for the bigger caves instead of restriction. So of course, that means that you probably won't be able to go up to full cave course, full cave certification. Maybe intro to cave. Cavern is fine.
Yeah.
Cavern is fine. You can still dive in the cave and enjoy the cave. Just go down to cavern first. Then and see how things goes for you. I think it's still all about conquering your fear.
So pushing yourself.
Whether you want to do it or not is the thing. A lot of the times we are afraid of something because we don't understand it.
Yeah.
I think we do not have the knowledge of it. Get more information first, then decide whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
claustrophobic, cavern course.
Well, in my opinion, for people who say that they have claustrophobic, but they are keen or they want to know cave diving, how does it feel to do cave diving? It already tells you something, that your claustrophobicness is not massive, right? Thinking of you are in a enclosed area, but that's already claustrophobic. If you're intrigued, if you think that you want to try, that means you are able to manage your claustrophobic.
Or it depends on the level of your fear.
Yeah.
Some people can be claustrophobic when doing open water.
True.
Because of the mask.
Yeah. Maybe speaking to the right people.
I mean,
talking with your instructor and see if he advise whether or not you should take the course. It's up to the instructor.
What I can advise is just try it. Dip your toe into it and see how things goes. If you really like something and you really want to do it, try it out even if you're afraid. Try it out first. You can always back down if you really think it's not for you. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So that will be all for this episode, guys. And please stay tuned. Please give us your
honest opinion.
Yes. Reach out to us if you have anything. And if you want us to share any other topics, please just let us know.
Thank you so much for the support that we have been getting from you guys for these past few episodes. Yeah, I mean, there are friends reaching out to me telling us that we are on the right path. I mean, there are also friends who comment telling us that we can do better.
Yes,
which we are trying to, and we will.
We are.
So as you can see, Dicky got a new mic today, and he will sound much better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, more manlier.
Yeah.
Sexier. So guys, thank you so much for listening to us.
And till our next episode, and we'll see you guys again.
Okay, yes. Thank you, and goodbye.